Shit. Anyways, I'm coming back on my YouTube channel, and I just got like a stack of tarot cards today. Like I was saying before, I'm doing cards again. So to make a long story short, I'm going to go ahead and say it like this. You know, I'm trying to remember as much as I can of, you know, I'm trying to get my consciousness back. I'm going to say this right now. These people who put this evil shit on me placed roach attachments that's designed to let the people, I guess, who paid for you to be energy harvested, to allow them to have roach attachments in you. I saw roach attachments of Zendaya, of her mother, ugly, nasty, filthy looking thing. I keep hearing that, you know, I know that when I read about her, she was a teacher, but I keep hearing that she was actually, in fact, a street prostitute. Now, with that being said, I brought, you know, with that being said, one of the decrees that these evil, envious people out there in Malibu made is that they don't want me doing tarot card readings. When I used to do my tarot card readings in the past, now I'm going to be honest with you, I didn't get a lot of customers or a lot of views, and that's because I was being stifled by that Alex Nascimento entity. I'm going to go ahead and show you him in conjunction with Zendaya and her mother. Her highest self is a Jessica Ilhissa. If you see an Ilhissa at the end of somebody's highest self name, they're cognated or connected to Hecate. So with that being said, let me go ahead and show you. Forget to thank everybody for your well wishes. I'm starting to look a lot more normal in the eyes. They're starting to bulge out like they used to. I, you know, at least had very beautiful eyes, a more youthful appearance. And I know that a lot of you enjoyed and got something out of my YouTube videos. It's a shame that for the longest period of time, I was not in the mindset, you know, again, I had their roach attachments. You know, I hate to say it, at one point up until I released his real name, his real nom de plume, Baron Samedi, you know, his real name I don't want to drop right now. He was antagonizing me, and I'm trying to get the skinny on that. You know, I heard that somebody working with these people is somebody that was, who's actually, in fact, related to a family friend of mine's, of ours. Sidney Bartholomew. I don't want to put his name, you know, that much out there, but just to give some identity to what's going on. And, you know, I'm just going to say this. I know that whenever I attack these motherfuckers in the astral plane, type of physical effect upon this Barbara and, what's his name? David Rayna. Or Collins, I believe their real name is. I remember that's when they started fucking with my child consciousness. One of my child spirit guys, it's a child, and she's the longest running one, the only one that's impartial in having fucked with me, who's still standing strong. And they were fucking with her, they were fucking with her consciousness royally, you know, fucking with my connection to her consciousness. You know, within our consciousness, because I'm going to say this, it's fucking weird, these people. From what I understand, they're directly under the demiurge, a.k.a. Quetzalcoatl, as talked about in that Johnny Liz book, and they take orders, and they have like the worst roach attachments you can imagine, very controlling. You know, I'm not going to lie, you know, to make a long story short, I actually came across something like that early this morning, seeing the difference between dealing with and being under directly the source as well as the demiurge. And I'm going to go ahead and mention this as an aside. In the astral plane, I told a young man on YouTube about this. There's a location in the astral plane called Istanbul, in which people who are meant to be sacrificed, and when I say sacrificed, like for instance, Baron Samedi, when I got sacrificed to him, one thing about him is he made sure I always had good luck. I never fell flat on my ass. I was never dead on the streets homeless. And when I got to LA, though I didn't like what I did, that was part of the curse, he always made sure I had at least a couple of dollars, at least $3,000 in my checking account. I was never without. It was actually his highest self from what I understand. That being said, these evil motherfuckers, like I said before, I got an Ingrid Hybrid, I got some wetbacks from what I, keep being told. Even going back to my neighborhood, there's a bunch of motherfucking wetbacks. I'm going to say something right now. Their oversoul consciousness is extremely racist. They don't like blacks, especially. And from what I saw in the astral plane early this morning, we are directly connected to God and to the light. I'm not just talking about the demiurge God, but we're directly connected to the light, to the source. Those motherfuckers, unlike everybody else, we come from the real sun, which from what I was shown by my Egyptian ancestors is in the earth, I believe. They talk about Shambhala. They talk about Lemuria. White folks, now they vibrate at 6,000 hertz frequency, but they come from the fake sun. And it kind of mixes, like for instance, the Asians are like in between, but they're very smart people. The wetbacks, on the other hand, the Mexicans and all of that, South Americans, they come from the darkness. They come from what you can call black goo. They come from the subconscious realm. And I'm going to go ahead and say it. Your consciousness is the entry point into the astral plane. In the back, you got your subconsciousness. It's very deep what I have to teach. In the back, you got your subconsciousness. And in the back is the darkness. Your subconsciousness is dark because it's chaotic. It's chaotic. That's why you have your ancestors there, or I meant like at least entity attachments of them and maybe a couple of real live ones so you could have a personality. In your subconsciousness, it's chaotic, just like that film, Event Horizon.
The ship brought me back. I told you she won't let me leave. She won't let anyone leave. Did you really think you could destroy this ship? She's defied space and time. She's been to a place you couldn't possibly imagine. And now, it is time to go back.
I know. To hell.
You know nothing. Hell is only a word. The reality is much, much worse. Now let me show you.
No, they're not dead. They're not dead.
Not yet.
You won't take my crew!
They're not your crew anymore. They belong to the ship.
Gateway opening.
Take me. You take me, you leave them alone.
No. There is no escape.
The gateway is open, and
You are all coming with me.
You see? Do you see?
Like what these people are under, to hell realms. Some people would call it the demiurge, but I don't think it's essentially that. And in those realms exist, you know, like for instance, the entities that lord over it is Satan. And, you know, I actually tried to go to the Self-Fellowship Realization Church yesterday to try to get a cleansing and get this shit off. But I'm going to just start playing sound therapy. Zenu, Scientology talks about it. At the beginning of the curse, I've learned that the second in command, or at least the first in command, to your boy, Satan, is Zenu. You know, so the Church of Scientology ain't on no bullshit. In the middle, you got your connection to the demiurge, which can go either way. And then you got some with a lot more light. Like when I was under Baron Samedi, that one had a lot more light. But, you know, as part of this curse, from what I understand, they place you under their god, which is Satan, the demiurge, Quetzalcoatl or some shit. They put you in a dark place. Very, very heavy, negative, strong, dark energy. The Illuminati, for instance, is not just under it, but they're the rulers who run that hell realm. And in the back, like for instance, in ancient Mesopotamia, they talk about the Ereshkigal. Ereshkigal, that's actually a part of your subconscious mind. And in the back, you have what you call an Erasmus, which is your connection to your consciousness. I'm going to say something right now. These evil people don't like me disseminating truths. So they'll send entity attachments and shit to intimidate me into not talking about the truth. So please pray for me, I ask you. When I say pray, I don't mean pray, but send good vibes, send good energy, send powerful gods. Because like I say, what I got to work with ain't shit. You know, I have one long spirit guide and I got disconnected from my ancestors spiritually. How you doing? And I've been trying to call on them, but every time I try to, it's fucked up. You know, again, they came to me in 2014, and I told them point blank, I don't fuck with anybody. I'm not, get the fuck out of here. Why would I sign a soul contract for what's mine, for my blessings? I don't fucking get that. So anyways, you know, I kept getting like a lot of fucking roach attachments, entity attachments harassing me in the past when I would try to talk about this. How, you know, everything looks like the fucking Matrix from what I've seen. There's a green screen. Our astral bodies look like, you know, I mean, they're shaped like a person and all of that, but they look like what astronauts would wear. You know, like one time I was about to get in the mines, trying to get back into the timeline where I got thrown out of my body. And next thing I know, I got thrown out. You know, I was about to jump into the roach realm in my consciousness, and that was going to fuck me up. So with that being said, I'm trying to see where I'm going. Let me go ahead and turn this off. I feel out of breath and everything. You know, again, thank y'all for y'all well wishes and prayers and good energy, because I've been getting energy harvested. I had like a major component of my consciousness in the middle right here. They're about to do something right now to fuck with it. Removed. That's your personality and all of that shit, and energy harvested onto the roach attachments for Zendaya and her mama and all this other shit. So let me go ahead and try to refresh and see what I was talking about. And say there's a place in the astral realm called Istanbul. And I got placed there under Moloch. And from what I saw in the astral plane last night, just like with the devil, when I was first placed in his hell realm, again, in the back of your head lies your subconscious, and that's your connection to hell. It's chaotic. Hell is not what people think it is necessarily, but there are different aspects of hell. A lot of it, like when you die, you go into your consciousness. That's where you live, or your ancestors, or somebody else. Like as part of this curse, what they will do is those people will remove you from your consciousness and place you in their consciousness so that you can be stuck in their hell realms and be energy harvested and astral body harvested. Now, in the middle, you got the demiurge, which is both the duality of light and dark. And most demiurges are mixed in between. It's normal. And that's to keep the steady flow of things. You have to have negativity as well as light, the duality of such, to be able to live in the physical plane of material. People come here because they want the difficulty. They come here to learn, life challenges, to play around, to experience life in a 3D body. But a lot of people don't realize that in the astral plane, you also got components of it, even in the 4D, the 5D, 6D, where you can be physical, just like you are in the 3D. You have bones and everything, and you're solidified. Now, at the front, you got the light. And that's your connection to source. I believe it may be in the back or the side. I'm not really sure. But you got your connection to source high up. So with that being said, they placed me in a realm called Istanbul, which is controlled. It's not Moloch. Moloch is the entity that's in charge of sacrificing children. But you got Baal. And Baal, I actually met him in the astral plane at the start of this curse. Real cool cat. Very, very nice entity. Both him and Moloch were cool. Within us, we have entity attachments of different gods and goddesses and our connection to them. With that being said, in the middle, they placed me in a hell realm called Istanbul, named for the god Baal that they talk about in the Bible, who energy harvests off of you to death, where you have nothing. Like, one thing about Baron Samedi is, in his highest self, he made sure I had it. Them motherfuckers, them wetbacks, wanted to completely destroy me. And thankfully, by the grace of Baron Samedi, and by some of my ancestors, I'm not going to name who some of my ancestors is, or my highest selves, really my highest selves, because, as part of this curse, what they'll do is they'll mix, they'll somehow make a connection, they'll send a roach attachment to become your higher self and see if there's some connection in your family line, and then get in from there. And that's how they mix with your higher selves, the entity attachments for your higher selves. And they couldn't touch my highest self, my grandma, because they just couldn't. So with that being said, I still do, I had the Heru and every fucking thing. I still do have strong ancestral and familial ties that's keeping me from being stuck, as well as the support of well-wishers here on YouTube. Now, there's a place that, again, referencing what I was saying before, in the astral realm called Istanbul, where people are sacrificed. And when I say sacrifice, it ain't like with what Baron Samedi did to me. And they've been trying to get me to reveal his name so that they could take everything from him as well as everything from me. I don't know what's going on. I'm going to do a video talking about the process, the real process of becoming a god. And I'm just going to say it like this. The Asians got it right because they work with the only primordial truths of reality, which is that everything is made of frequency and vibration. Vibration looks like a Picasso painting. Frequency looks like musical notes. but very, very colorful. Now, with that being said, when you're stuck in that realm, you're constantly energy harvested. I can physically feel entities in their hands. Sometimes it's been the Illuminati. Sometimes you can use 1248 hertz frequency to get rid of them. Sometimes it's been them people and their roach attachments and so forth reaching out to steal things from my consciousness. You know, in your consciousness lies your timelines, your blessings. It's here all over your body. So with that being said, they go in and they pilfer off of it through their roach attachments. They enhance your consciousness to where it's, for lack of a better word, huge, open, way too open than it should be. Way too open. And they go in and steal every and anything that they can from you.
A piece of water, that guy picked it up.
A piece of water?
Water for your phone.
Oh, it might be
I think or something. The
nah.
guy picked it up.
What, I drop wire?
For your phone. The thing you plug in.
Oh no, I didn't drop that.
Oh, okay. You asked me, did I drop it?
I don't know. I don't know what to say about that. Yeah, I didn't bring anything like that out here. But anyways, with that being said, it opens you up to the most egregious type of energy harvesting that you can think of, where you're constantly having things stolen from your body, from your mind, from your consciousness. And your shit is open wide enough to avail motherfuckers, psychic energy vampires. That's all I have that's constantly coming into my consciousness. In your consciousness lies all sorts of doorways to your consciousness. With that being said, that's the realm in which I was placed, under heavy, dark curses. Now, there's different frequencies. If you're dealing with roach attachments, use 7,000 hertz, 6,000 hertz. To remove them, there's 7171. Somebody, the higher self of somebody actually showed me how to do that. 1717 hertz, 7171 hertz, 1771 hertz. There's one that works really, really well that keeps them roach attachments from mixing with you or them consciousness eaters. But it's a very high frequency. It's 2,943 something, 430. Then you got 1999 hertz, or 19999 hertz. Then you got 122 hertz, and then you got 1414 hertz if you want to keep your energy signature. You know, there's a huge list of hertz that I kept with regards to combating this shit. You know, I'm not gonna lie. This curse lasted for very, very long. And that's because them roach attachments that they put on me were very, very funny. And I'm not gonna lie when I say they would kind of help out. Because it was a apartment to a mixture between the two, to some degree. But for the most part, you know, you can't have that shit in you because it fucks you up. It fucks up your consciousness. It doesn't allow you to be able to live in your head like you're supposed to. It doesn't allow for the normal flow, the normal consciousness of things. So with that being said, you have, I got placed in the realm called Istanbul. And I'm going to say this right now. The people who placed this shit on me, there was something else I wanted to talk about and elaborate on, but I totally forgot. But it's going to come back to me, hopefully. They placed this curse on me for a very petty reason. From what I'm trying to understand, I think that there's like a bunch of people, 7 to a room, who live in a mansion in Malibu. I've actually seen it and been there. From what I understand, it was supposed to be my home. It looks like a colonial Spanish home, if I was to have gotten my blessings. And with that being said, these motherfuckers put it on me because back in the day, I was a topless rights advocate. Used to walk around topless, and I had a white bitch by the name of Ingrid Hybert who was very, very envious and didn't like that. She got woked, like I would call it, by them wet bucks on the PCH because she was going around there, from what I understand, fucking with them people, telling them you can't do this and can't do that. So they put something supposedly on her. Like I said, I keep hearing different messages and different stories in the astral plane about what's going on. But I'm trying to find the true genesis of who put this shit on me. But anyways, you know, this same broad, or them same people, I keep getting the Barbara and David Rain as somebody that's mixed with wet buck and white German with blue eyes and dark hair and with a very strong chin. So I don't know what to make. That could be somebody's higher self, could be mine. I don't know what's going on. I'm trying to get real clarification on what's going on. But anyways, because like I said, you know, when your consciousness is hit, that's not easy to deal with. But anyways, they play something on a Mexican girl out there for being topless and for having a nice body for petty fucking reasons. Really petty reasons. But usually they get paid to go after, from what I'm understanding, that the demiurge or the CIA wants them to go after. Another thing that they were envious of, like, see, I'm gonna say this right now. When I would woke motherfuckers back in the day, how you doing, sir? I would fuck up people. Hey, how you doing, sir?
How are you?
I'm doing all right. I would fuck up people spiritually because they did something to me. And then when I saw where I placed them at in the roach realm, it was a horrible realm. I saw giant cockroaches and shit in buildings where you were trapped spiritually. If you're trapped in the spirit plane, you can use 114. I'm trying to remember exactly what it is. I'm going to go ahead and write it down. 114 to remember. But if you have a loved one that's trapped in the astral plane, you can use 1185 hertz along with 125 hertz and along with 156 hertz to free them. Now, if somebody is trapped by a blockage, you got 114-700, 114-700, all the way up to 114-730. That could be used to free somebody. Then you got 114-7, because that disables frequency. Then you got 114-715 hertz that can enable frequency. The other ones disable it, the other ones enable it. Then you got 117-700 hertz that can enable frequency, from what I'm recalling. Then you got 117-730 hertz that could disable it. Now, with that being said, there was something I was about to say that I just totally forgot. I'm trying to fucking remember. Not in my astral body, because one day when I was out here, I was told by my spirit guides that I was no longer in my body. And I've been seeing white masks. From what I understand, that's a manifestation or the appearance of death, that you've done died appear. Supposedly I got sacrificed to Santa Muerte. All you need is black tourmaline, 451 hertz, 452 hertz to get rid of her. She's an energy vampire in the Toba. Now, with that being said, I kept seeing people pass by with Aztec death mask. Supposedly, I was sacrificed to this entity that's being here called Hatsupuku. I can't even pronounce the motherfucker's name, but he's from Benares. He's a dark, evil spirit, from what I understand. That's part of that Mexican culture, Aztec shit. Tech, and I'm getting, things are on the fence about Quetzalcoatl, but I don't know if he's the controller of consciousness or the demiurge himself. That's what I've been shown. But he was coming from David Reyna. It was Sandifer. It was a wet book. To try to help. So I don't know what's going on. With that being said, I saw people pass by with Aztec death mask that look very similar to the pictures in which I showed you. Now, from what I understand, Quetzalcoatl is under Hecate. And Hecate is the connection to God or the demiurge. As part of this sacrifice curse, I'm trying to figure it out. I'm not going to lie. I keep getting different reports. But I've always felt, and I keep having this get stolen in the astral plane as well, the consciousness of Hecate. The way she feels, the energy. The energy of her. And I keep having that constantly stolen in the spirit plane by the roach attachments of these people. I keep having this Ingrid Hybrid or Barber take it over. My entity attachment connection to Hecate in the astral plane and fucking with it and trying to sell off my blessings and spiritual powers through that, which I never consented to. I'm going to go ahead and say it. One of my spirit guides even say it themselves. Their soul contracts are illegal on the face of it. They bullied a child higher self of mine into a soul contract, and they got her placed in a hell realm ever since. And from what I understand, you tear up their soul contracts. I actually had a very, very powerful spiritualist help me break free of this one day. You tear up their soul contracts, somehow they can still keep your shit. And I think it's because they're under demiurge control. Again, knowing what I know now, I can't be on the philosophy bullshit. So if I sound crazy to you, you can get off my fucking channel. If I sound racist, same fucking racist as an organization meant to protect the country. Just like this. Get the fuck off. I don't want you. So with that being said, they keep trying to sell it off. From what I understand, these people work with these Hollywood celebrities. I got like a Timothy, like one of my blessings was supposed to be to get married to a black basketball player. And I remember seeing Patti LaBelle, and I actually did an article about it years ago. I reached the end of the video, but the reason why I brought that up is because Timothy Chalamet, I almost want to say, got married, or he's with Kylie Jenner, who's a billionaire. And that was actually, like when I heard one of the people working with, put this shit on me, this evil shit on me, I heard them say in the spirit plane, one of these people, it could be them. World say that, yeah, we took her blessings and sold them to Timothy Chalamet along with the Zendaya, one of my blessings was to marry a basketball player. And like I say, he's with that billionaire. So that was actually supposed to be my blessing that he stole. First occurred. And, you know, when she came into the door, she was wiping away a lot of my shit. From what I was told, it was supposed to have been another YouTuber, a bald-headed woman who has a very weird energy, like who's highly possessed. And she talked a lot about voodoo, and she also called out them wetbacks too back in the day. That's one thing I liked about her. She saw them motherfuckers for what they are. That's why I wear this, and that's why I wear this. And, you know, luckily for me, knowing what I know spiritually, I can articulate about what they are spiritually and why people have a hard time dealing with them. I'm probably going to do an article about wetbacks in the future, talking about them spiritually, what's going on with them spiritually, and why people feel a weird, negative, very low vibrational energy with them. Like I said in the other video, they come from a very dark place. Some fucking my consciousness right now, but I'm gonna fix that. You can play 6,000 hertz. Look, I'm gonna say this. They come from a dark place called Benares. They're gods. Acapulco and all of that shit. Not Quetzalcoatl, but the other ones. They come from the darkness, the primordial darkness in the universe. There's a reason why if you play 6,000 hertz frequency around wetbacks, they run. And they're the only group of people to run if you play that frequency. Not whites, not even the worst of whites or blacks will run if you play that frequency. And that's a frequency meant to repel evil entities. So with that being said, that's why, you know, I'm going to say something right now. I don't really deal with them. Knowing what I know spiritually and psychically about them, I've always sensed like a strong energy, vampire energy with them. I don't deal with them. I noticed in the past, until I started wearing this, they avoid my pad. I'm going to say something right now. You spit in the motherfucker's pad, especially if it's deliberate. It's a way of transferring the curse. So I'm going to go ahead and say it. They come from, they're gods. They all come from the darkness. White and blacks come from the light. And we come from the true light, from what I was told in the spirit world. Let me go ahead and get some lunch. Continue doing the video that I was doing before. I had to get lunch. Hold on. So I had to pick up where I left off. You know, I'm going to say something right now. My energy body is all out of whack. I know that 110 hertz, which can simultaneously protect you while trying to rebuild your body, works to block out, you know, entities while you try to pull your astral body in and get your shit back. That's another hertz frequency, along with 17, 15 hertz that can help you get your shit back. But with that being said, um, 110 hertz. Why did I'm being fucked with so much right now, but it's not going to stop me. That's what these evil ass people want. I'm going to say one thing as well. One of the things that they didn't like, again, I wasn't the most financially successful YouTuber, but I was very, very psychic. And I'm going to tell you something too. Watch them wetbacks, because they will steal your psychic abilities. It happened to this guy right here.
Spark that cuss! Ah! Ah! Started sparking. On the... Car ready to get hit, cut.
This nigga's a demon.
Cuz on some demon shit. Oh my god.
This a nigga you gotta serve if he ever.
This a nigga you gotta serve.
You gotta.
He would have got hit, nigga. Bullshit. This nigga's an OG from somewhere. Trap out, so he got a K with me. Just pulling out. Huh? You better off just pulling out. Ooh. Ooh, shit. He said you ain't finna blow. He said you shooting at the ground. I'm tripping on shit. That nigga chopped the fuck out that street though. Cuz got the machete out. He ready to chop Cuz up. Cuz got the knife, he finna get with it, Cuz. Cuz finna get with it, Cuz. Cuz finna get with it on my mom. Ooh, on the set, Cuz hit Cuz. Cuz hit that nigga on my mama, he hit that nigga. On my mama, he hit that nigga. He still coming. He like, I'm gone now. He said he just hit me. Watch. Cuz gonna reverse with the truck. I'm calling it. Cuz gonna reverse with the truck, run it into all these niggas. Cuz. He do that, I'm running out this bitch. Watch. Cuz finna reverse that. Put your head down. He rolling up the window. I'm telling you. I know what's finna happen.
And it's crazy. The nigga in the...
Cuz, look, he finna reverse it.
Nah, he getting out again.
Yeah, he... Hold up. Hold up. Cuz, back out the whip. He on demon time. Oh! Hey, he got gasoline.
Energy vampires, like they told Santa Muerte again. Black tourmaline works on her. And, you know, stuff meant to ward off energy vampires, black kyanite. It only works on wetbacks as a people. No other fucking group. I'm just spitting true. I don't give a fuck if they don't like it. Get your ass off my channel. I don't even want them motherfuckers on here. Not really a big fan, knowing what I know spiritually about the asses. And with that being said, I'm trying to get my thoughts together. Shit, where was I going with that? It was something really, really deep and profound. I keep having the entity attachment. Hey man, how you doing? Coming in and trying to patrol and control what I have to say. I'm gonna say another thing as well about them in the spirit world. They like to bully blacks, whereas they'll smooth with whites, and that's because their creator guy, Quetzalcoatl, who again is under Hecate. I'm supposed to be the successor to Hecate. From what I understand, I got sacrificed to the Illuminati. It's a long story. You know, again, it involves body swapping, soul swapping, and so forth and so on. Where somebody by the name of Veronica Gilgy or Ashley Hampstead or something, Jessica De La Torre, took over my body. Somebody from Destrehan, Louisiana. To make a long story short, I keep having to fuck with my shit, my consciousness. From what I understand, you have to sacrifice an incarnated God. And so I got, to be the one chosen to be sacrificed by this person who took over my body when I died in my sleep on that August 22nd, 2022 timeline. I'm going to say something right now as well. If you resurrect window panes in the astral plane and stuff, it, works to deflect, as well as metal, as well as double glass, like double seeing glass and all of that. It works to deflect, somebody tries to psychically steal from you. create a glass pane and you can get your shit back along with metal. But anyways, I remember years ago, I had a wed buck who was one of the people I saw who tried to sacrifice me. I was driving down Wilshire Boulevard in Koreatown. So I had a wed buck say to me while I was driving, "You have strong spiritual powers and abilities." And later on, I learned she was one of the wetbacks that stole a lot of my shit and set me up to be a sacrifice. That's why I don't fuck with them people. They something not right about them. And I was saying that on a particular part of my blog, and I have been saying it for a long time. You know, I noticed that when I first came out here, a lot of them, before I started wearing this and this, wearing this and this, will deliberately cross my path, both male and female. And the males, they're major sacred chakra energy vampires. They like to steal at the sacred chakra. You know, that's why a lot of them are big-time pedophiles, rapists. They're big into sexual assault because there's a lot of energy that can be called from that chakra. And they go after and they project onto black women because of our connection to the true light, to the true source. And because, I don't want to say we have low self-esteem, but there's an African word that talks about unity and getting along and embracing everybody. And we have that openness in our culture, which we oftentimes talk about, that works against us. We always talk about how everybody is closed off to everybody but us, and that's very, very true. That's why I close my energy off to the wetback. I don't deal with them. Because I've been saying for the longest, there's something not right with them. And, you know, now that I know spiritually what's going on, you know, it's unequivocal. But anyways, there was a bunch of other stuff I wanted to say, but hopefully it comes back to me. You have these people out here in Malibu who, again, are denied their soul contract going back to 2000. You know, I'm going to say something as well. I'd be sitting out here, I'm on Fig, sitting out here minding my own business, and I could be wearing this and that, and they automatically assume that I'm up for prostitution because of the color of my skin, because I'm black. I don't like those people for a reason. Their energy is just low vibrational, it's trashy, it's evil, malevolent, dark. The darkness, the primordial darkness. Primordial black goo is what I consider them to be. So with that being said, you know, I even had an entity that them people at that Santa Muerte shop here, Botanica, from what I understand, their highest self is a blonde-haired woman. She don't like black people. And she saw some shit on the PCH. There was a wetback by the name of Mikey Hernandez that would put curses not only on people out here on South Central, namely blacks and darker Mexicans, but mainly blacks, but also us out there on the PCH. And he didn't like what I was doing, being topless and all of that. So he sought to try to run me off. So he created a tulpa. I actually saw him at a bus stop one day. I didn't get a clear picture. By the name of Dan Arcienega, which was comprised of... Anyways, to make a long story short, I believe my spirit guides are higher selves or some shit like that in his, or... Anyways, it's some really, really dark shit. This motherfucker actually physically manifested. Like like at the start of the curse, they grabbed hair off of me and so forth and so on, astrally. The closest that's closest to my physical body. So anyways, they set up a tulpa that I physically saw going back months ago by the name of Dan Arcienega. He was sitting here at this bus stop. And he got invited in by that entity attachment, Alex Nacimiento. I'm also getting the Raziel, but I don't know what's going on. But anyways, her highest self, from what I'm understanding, don't like black people. She didn't like us in her past incarnation, her past life. Feelings mutual. With that being said, she saw what happened on the PCH, and she saw that them white people, really it was whites and, bunch of fucking wetbacks, put this shit on me, but decided to go after me because of the color of my skin. And with that being said, it's that Santa birthday shop right on 87th and Broadway. That's why I don't deal with them fuckers. And I had gone to them for a tarot reading before in the past. And from what I understand, they stole a lot of my blessings, my spiritual powers, my consciousness. And this is why I brought up the video of that black guy. Notice how that fucking wetback shot that black guy. But he didn't feel any impact whatsoever. And this is because he had the power of the Orishas and the Loas around him to shut that down. From what I understand, wetbacks who saw that video voraciously started stealing his spiritual powers and abilities. And the poor man hasn't been able to get it back since. 1715 hertz, along with 6002 hertz, which again only works on him. 6,000 hertz works to repel him, can work to help him get his shit back. Just like with Bruce Lee, when he was at a point where he had no spiritual powers, he actually had his spiritual powers. Like, let me go ahead. I know my fucking shit sounds discombobulated, but follow me because my consciousness is all fucked up. He was cursed to a hell realm. I believe the Roach realm maybe. By the Illuminati, the Asian branch of the Illuminati called the Lee family. And with that being said, this guy, it got to a point where he lost all his spiritual powers. So all he had to work with was frequency. And that's how he was able to fight his way out and escape that hell realm that got imposed on him by the Lee family. They also sacrificed his son as well, Brandon Lee. And I remember when the young man died in 1994. I'll never forget, it was a really, really big thing. I was in the Stone Temple Pilots at the time, Beavis and Butthead and all of that. And, hey, how you doing, sis? And he got sacrificed by the Lee family. But they were able to beat the curse. They still succumbed to it physically. But soul-wise, they were able to beat it, I believe. I'm also mention something else, a channeled message that I got in the spirit world during all this shit. I learned that fucking wetbacks keep coming in here, putting screwdrivers and all this shit, the entity attachments and all of that. And entity attachments, I'm gonna get this shit out of here. I'm not gonna lie, my fucking auric body, my etheric body, my fucking etheric body is, I saw it was all chewed up and everything. It's all fucked up. It's exposed. My shit is way too fucking exposed. With that being said, your boy, the rap artist, Biggie Small,